Jemele Herring vs. Shakur Stevenson. Another interesting similar style matchup that might surprisingly make for an entertaining fight due to each fighter's strategy and skill sets. Let's get into it. 23-2, junior lightweight WBO champion Jemele Herring. Slick Southpaw who doesn't shy away from banging on the inside with combinations. At his best, he's defensively sound off the back foot or moving laterally. Herring has a good boxing IQ and is war-tested in and out the ring as an ex-Marine. The 35-year-old has seemingly found his stride at the junior lightweight division. At 5'10" with a 72-inch wingspan, he utilizes his height and reach with a great jab that Shakur Stevenson will have to contest with. Jamel has a very nice lead hand hook. Whether the lead 3, counter 3, or especially the check hook, Jamel has excellent timing and accuracy with the lead hand hook. Against his orthodox opponents in the open stance, he sets a trap with an off jab that entices the counter jab or 2 cross, only for Jamel to check hook with a pivot or a step check. The majority of the time with southpaw opponents like Shakur, Jamel waits for the lunging pendulum step to time the mirrored jab with the check hook.
Also for Ladarius Miller, he's coming up.
It's going to be tough to win, make an adjustment, and he's have to get in close. There. Well, as you saw being in the ring. Yeah, I mean, they felt that they were already down on the score. Oh, nice count. 85.
Top rank, and things are going to get interesting, aren't they? Now on with Ruder Hernandez, the trainer.
Body shot, vicious body shot, devolves into a wrestling. Jemele Herring gets thrown some good bodies to stay focused for the duration of a fight, if it goes the distance.
And I would think in this case,
but tonight he's getting what he suddenly do sometimes.
Coming to America, making the media
to land the right hand. He has to do something.
He can find himself on the wrong his work.
Often will score based on that. They are fighting for the duck he has been through in his life.
And just be smart all night long.
Stevenson has been caught with counter threes being a bit too overzealous or committed to a lead attack. Shaq doesn't always pendulum step into his lead attacks, but it isn't exactly rare either. If he isn't careful with his form on the backhand or doesn't keep his backhand home and up on lead strikes, Jamel could catch him. Herring also has a good backhand, whether for overhands or 2 crosses. Against his orthodox opponents, he mixes the backhand strike nicely to the body and head. Well timed, well placed. But against southpaw opponents, backhand strikes are relatively rare out of Jamel. Whether it's decisions on positioning or just being comfortable with it having a southpaw advantage is your guess. Stevenson should still be aware. At 16-0, the 23-year-old former WBO featherweight champion and current #1 junior lightweight contender, Shakur Stevenson, is the smaller man in this matchup, 5'7" with a 68-inch wingspan. A southpaw technical phenom with a high boxing IQ displayed in his high-level skills and adjustments mid-action. There isn't a distance he can't fight at, along with being able to come forward, fight off the back foot, or utilize lateral movement. Stevenson has some of the sport's best reflexes, especially defensively with his upper torso and head movement. Excellent awareness and quick twitch muscles are a big reason Stevenson is extremely tough to hit clean, as he's already known as one of the sport's best defensive fighters. Along with the excellent defense, Stevenson is also dynamic with his striking abilities, whether countering or leading, and especially to the body. No game plan out of Team Stevenson so far hasn't included chopping down trees. Against the last southpaw he faced, Stevenson landed 64 body shots out of 151 total landed punches, according to punch stats, and if you saw the fight, that doesn't seem to do it justice. Talking about exposed flaws and weaknesses with Shakur Stevenson will be a bit of a stretch. The kid has been in 16 pro fights and has only lost 3 rounds total on all the judges' scorecards combined. So whatever we say is a flaw is nitpicking at best. But as Shakur walked down Toka Khan Clary, his last and only Southpaw opponent as a pro, Clary had some success with overhands as Stevenson's positioning on the inside with his version of the Philly shell left an opening. If it turns out to be this type of a fight with close quarter action, Jamel will need to be assertive and take what Shakur gives him for free. Stevenson has elite distance control sliding in and out of range, but sometimes he has a tendency to shuffle a hot back in a straight line, not holding the phone with the backhand. The right opponent with quick feet could catch him on his way out and punish him for it, but that's not typical Jamel, yet it's still a flaw that can be capitalized on. With Jemele Herring, it's a bit of a different story. With 2 losses on his record, we're bound to see more observable flaws and weaknesses. And it just so happens that the 2 losses on his record both come from matches against contender-level Southpaws, which of course raises red flags with his upcoming fight with Stevenson.
That he hasn't shown an ability to do yet. And then they're going to be ready, I think.
They're going to stop it. Here they come. That's it.
Be ready.
Corner is going to throw in the towel. Fight is over. They gave him one last chance.
That's right, and I understand it. They did the right job. The corner did the right job. You know, you could have stopped it.
What I think is giving Herring the most trouble against Southpaws is his insistence on circling to the right. Fundamentally, you want to move away from the dominant hand, which in a Southpaw versus Southpaw closed stance fight is to your left. High-level fighters break from fundamentals all the time with the awareness of why you want to circle away from a backhand of an opponent, but they just do it with distance or they're on the ready to defend. Well, Jamel just seems to have those mental lapses. All it would take from a southpaw opponent is to have the ability to wing a fore or backhand hook to catch Jamel moving to his left in range and not ready to defend, which Stevenson certainly has displayed he could do. Jamel has displayed the tendency to either lower his guard to the point it isn't protecting or not bring his hands back home after a strike in combination with lacking head movement.
Pointing and saying, you've got nice work with a right to the body.
Take a look at that big shot on the body. Both of them landed a right hook. To the body of Owen at FS1. Check it out.
Herring can fight with a low lead hand from the outside and a long guard from the outside and at range, but he defaults to a high guard on strikes to his head. The problem is, it isn't normally an active high guard, and again he tends to lack head movement with it. A high guard alone has many openings, and to an accurate fighter that knows how to place their shots, you might as well keep your hands down and save the energy.
Stevenson doing a good job. You see the hands of Rosales right there. Stevenson coming straight down the middle.
Gonna be tested. Got 10 seconds. This is for the bell.
Oh! And he goes down!
Is taking back over this fight.
Oh, big shot from Lamont Roach. Hurts Jemele Herring with just 5 seconds left here in the 11th round. And he holds on for dear life.
It'll come down to where, nothing against him, but it'll be an issue where I might have to press the action a lot more in that fight. Because like I said, if you let Shakur be comfortable, he's gonna do whatever he wants to do to you.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm not naturally the bigger guy, but I feel like I'm physically gonna be the stronger man. I feel like physically he's not that strong. I feel like he's mentally weak, and I feel like his inside game is a little suspect. So at the end of the day, when we get in there, I'm gonna be able to show it. I feel like I said, on the inside, he grabs, he don't know how to punch, he don't know how to hold his own on there, and I feel like I'm gonna show a lot that night.
So Herring said he may have to push the action, and Stevenson says Herring is sus on the inside, so I assume we're gonna have a mid-range to inside fight. And on the inside, Stevenson is a young monster. Shakur would be able to put all of his savvy boxing skills, aka high-level skills, at display that you know he possesses if you've watched Boxing Gems breakdowns. Akin to the great Floyd Mayweather on the inside, Stevenson doesn't just step in and bang. His goal is to control your movement while freeing up his own, or punch you and prevent you from doing anything, or at least be able to feel, predict, and time you. While we watch this series of blinders, framing, and forms of control, let me say there seems to be some misconception amongst fans that there is some significant punching power difference between Herring and Stevenson. The truth is, they both have pop, as you just can't eat whatever punch they throw, but of course, neither have proven to be knockout artists at all. Herring came down a weight class, so he is naturally the bigger man than Shakur, who came up a weight class. But at 130, they each have scored 3 knockdowns and 1 knockout, with Jamel having had 5 fights at 130 and Shakur only had 3. So this fight is likely coming down to skill and strategy. And in the skills category, Jamel is good, but Shakur is elite. No matter the range, I'll take Shakur by UD. If I'm a betting man, I keep my money in my pocket unless I can get a good line on the over, which I doubt. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching. Unfortunately, some networks don't allow their footage to be reused for analysis on YouTube, so it gets blocked. So everything that they block, I put on Patreon along with all my other content. Become a patron and don't miss a thing from Boxing Gems.